It's Jane, it's still June, and it's been blooming wet. I mean, really, you wouldn't believe it, looking at the sun coming from over there at the moment in my eyes. It's Saturday night, it's about 7 o'clock in the evening, and I think this is about the first bit of sun we've had all week. It's been quite prohibitive with regards to actually getting down to the allotment and doing anything, because apart from doing stuff in the greenhouse, which pretty much everything's done there now, it's been a case of, yeah, the soil's just been too wet to play with. So today, we've come up and, well, I was going to harvest one garlic, but things went a bit awry, so you'll see what happens there. We've harvested some garlic, which means I've been able to get in some other crops into there, which I'll show you. Harvested some new potatoes, which I know, again, you're not supposed to harvest yet, but I don't care. And I have tried to strengthen the defences in the greenhouse against blight. So come on, we'll go and have a look. Okay, traditionally the best time to dig up your autumn sown garlic, I'm getting very rained on now, it wasn't raining when I set the camera up, is the summer solstice. Now our summer solstice, believe it or not, is what, 5-6 days away, and yeah, I know it's not like summer at all. So I don't care anymore. If nature's not going to play ball, I'm not going to play ball either, and I'm going to dig up some of my garlic today, because to be honest, I can't wait, and it looks pretty nice. So I'm going to have a look. I'm going to take, I think, 1 or 2 elephant garlic. I'm just going to see how they look first, and 1 or 2 of the garlic at that end, which I can't remember what it is. Okay, so I'm going to unveil. Come and see the unveiling of the garlic. And I just tripped over a trug. Right, okay. Ooh, crikey. Ooh. Okay, one of the other reasons for, or one of the other excuses for clearing a bit of this bed is I've got some, look at the weeds. I've got some fennel and some celeriac to go in, so they need a space to go, and this is where it'll be. But first of all, I've just, you can't see this on there, can you see that? These have actually flowered. Oh heavens, that nearly took my eye out. These have actually flowered, and I have removed the flowering scapes, which of course you can eat, but let's have a little look at what's going on underground. Oh, it's quite nerve-wracking because it could be absolutely awful, you know. Now the thing with elephant garlic, you need to sort of dig away from the root because you don't want to go through it. So I'm going to dig like a little trench. Oh, and now I see. Now it all becomes clear. Oh, wow. Okay, I don't know if you can see this from there yet. No, I'm going to dig down and lift it that way. I don't want to snap anything at all. I've got to say, it doesn't look like it's split, but let's just have a look at the size of this. Can you see that on camera? I think you might be able to. Oh heavens, Jane. Look at this. I'm pulling this last bit. Oh, something's right, okay. Look at the size of me garlic. Good grief. Now, if you look here, I can see there's little bulbils everywhere. Oh, there's a worm. Hooray! Oh, it's always good to see a worm. Sign of a healthy soil. Let me put my bulbils to one side, because you can eat them. And you can grow them into new plants, but it takes forever. Get some of this soil off. Oh my goodness. How good is that? Looking forward to showing Mike that one, actually. Another bulb, but another little worm. Nature's friend. Come on. Put you down there. Look at that though. Wow. Yes. And they always look, another bulbil. What do you do with your bulbils? Tell me. Okay, put that there. That's where there's one growing actually against the thing. And yeah, that is brilliant. I'm really, really pleased with that. Okay, what we've got here for a little bit of comparison and contrast is the garlic that I planted in October, 1st of October I think, let's have a look. Yeah, 1st of October, and it's called Red Duke, and this was one of the varieties from the garlic farm that we hadn't had before. Look at the weeds. I mean, this is, well, this is me. When I've got a bed that's been covered by netting, I do tend to just ignore it and think it looks tidy. Right, okay, I'm not going to take all of these up, but I mean, that one's been mashed actually. Look, oh dear, something terrible has happened to this one. Let's have a look. Oh, actually the cloves are all right. That's interesting. I'm not sure what's happened to that one. Oh, that's what's happened to that one. Can you see that? This little fella, right in the middle of my garlic. Wowee. Well, I'm going to keep it, you say, oh no, because actually the cloves on this side are nice and big. So I'll have a look at it once it's all been washed off and everything and see if I can rescue a few cloves. But if all the cloves are that size, I'll be quite happy, as long as they haven't got a slug on. So let's put him over there. His days are numbered. Right, and go for, oh, I don't know. You see that one? I'm going to go for this one. Can you see this one if I dig this one up? Same with the, same way of digging up as the elephant garlic, really. Just make sure you're not going to put your, oh heavens, I barely did it. You're not going to put your trowel through your precious garlic. Try and get it to one side and lever up. Oh, actually these are looking, oh no, is that another slug? Is that another slug? No, it's a worm. Okay, you can stay, Mr. Worm, I like you. Right, okay, look at this though. I'm really quite impressed with these. Oh, I really hope there's no slug. I'm very impressed with these bulbs. That is a nice size. Now, to be honest, I can't remember what it said about what sort of flavour it is, whether it's got like what the, you know, a hard or a soft flavour, or if it's, I don't know. But yeah, again, I'm going to clear that up. But that, to me, is a big successful garlic bulb until you see it next to its cousin, Mr. Elephant. So yeah, really, really pleased with those. Not so pleased with Mr. Slug, but brilliant. Just got to try and get them to fit in my trug. Oh dear. Well, as you can see, I got a little bit carried away and dug them all up. So, what we've got in the trug yonder is the Red Duke, and also a couple of, if I show you, these were, I think these were the Villa Lado, and we actually only got 2 of these, so look at the difference here. I mean, to me it doesn't even feel like they've split, and they've been in the same amount of time. So we only got 2 of, oh no, that's the elephant one. We only got 2 of those, but the contrast with this Red Duke, I mean, look at that. I'm really, really looking forward to cleaning these up. Really pleased with those. And yeah, they were starting to get a few slugs on. If you can see the ones over here in the naughty corner, they've got slugs and things on. So I am going to take them apart and use the cloves up first of all, because some of the cloves are absolutely fine, big healthy cloves. I don't want to put them to waste. But yeah, because of that, I just thought, well, we're just going to have a bit more wet weather, a few more slugs. This is all my excuse. May as well get them all up. So now I've got a nice clear bed to put in my fennel and celeriac. And there we go. We have a bed now with our fennel, pak choy, but sadly not enough room for the celeriac. we'll find somewhere else for that. Riddle me this. 2 courgettes, not sure of the variety because we were given them. One has gone yellow, which suggests to me it needs some nitrogen. The other one isn't. I'm wondering if that's one of these yellow courgettes. I know it might sound silly, but I think it might be a gold rush courgette, and that's your traditional green. Not sure. What do you think? Okay, Mike's here, about to dig up some new potatoes for our evening meal to go with our lovely garlic. And sadly for Mike, I'm insisting he uses a little wooden shrug because it looks nice. But yeah. Really, with new potatoes, you should wait for a couple of weeks after the flowers have gone down. You don't have to wait for them to die back completely like with the main crop. But I said last week we'd had a little harvest, and oh my goodness, they were so lovely. So hopefully these are going to be just as mouth-watering. Let's have a look, Mike.
These are a bit bigger already.
Oh wow, well we've had so much rain, haven't we?
Well, it's only been a week and they're that much bigger than the first little group we had.
I wonder if these had actually flowered.
They had.
All right, okay. Because some of the ones further down the row, they're only just getting the flowers on, it looks like. But look at that. And in the truck, oh,
an exciting one.
Why is it exciting, Mike? Is it a funny shape?
Quite big.
Oh. Are we going to be fighting over that one later?
Like a builder's bum, that one.
Oh dear, right, okay, we might cut that bit. Okay, but yeah, I think we've got enough in that little truck, along with our oversized radish, because you always get a few of them, and our lovely little turnips. Yeah, what a treat.
One more?
Okay, a lot of people have had their greens bolting recently, and I think it's down to the weather. But if you see flower heads forming like that, take them down as far as you can and just see if you can prolong your greens for a little bit longer. This is our spinach, which has been mighty fine. Picking it a lot, but yeah, we need to keep it going for as long as we can. And into the jungle. Look at their grapes. Ridiculous. Anyway, what I wanted to show you was the back end of the greenhouse, which has got all the tomatoes in. Now, if you remember, we had a whole load of leaves along here as well. We had mustards and mizuna and rocket and all sorts of leaves, which we have helped ourselves to now for the last few weeks. But the tomatoes now are really, really taking off. But the most important thing is this week's weather has been so warm, so damp and so humid that it is perfect blight conditions. So we want to get as much excess foliage away as we possibly can. I used to always say foliage. I bet some of you, I don't know if foliage is the right way. I think it is. So I've taken out, look, still got some left here. I've taken out some of the, all of the extra leaves there and left the tomatoes there. But on this side, as you can see, pea shoots are way out of hand. So, believe it or not, there's some tomatoes in there. So I'm just going to spend a few minutes, again, although we've really, really enjoyed picking and gorging ourselves on them and they've been a real treat, it's time for them to come up now. So I'm going to take those up, have a look at what the tomatoes are like, and yeah, hopefully have a better air circulation going around the greenhouse. Okay, you can see they're looking a lot cleaner now. They've been tied up very, very loosely. Oh, I'm trying to bend down at the same time. with a bit of raffia. They've had the side shoots taken away. They've had the soil topped up. But one of the most important things I've always done with regard to blight is try not to have any leaves resting on the soil. Because you can see I've got soil on that. This is why those angel halo-y things are very good for growing them in, because you can, when you water them, you can keep the water separate from the plant, whereas if you're doing them overhead, it's bound to get some on the leaves. But you want to try and keep these leaves as aerated, is that a word? As dry and as fresh as possible. So bearing that in mind, and bearing in mind that this greenhouse has got a door at either end, I'm also going to open this door. Oh dear. I'm going to try and open this door. Hold on. Well, I should have done this before I turned the camera on. Let me come back to you. Yeah, always check the outside of your greenhouse door for obstructions before you try and open it from the inside. That just shows that that's never ever been opened before, and there was actually a big bit of wood leaning against the bottom of the door frame there. So yes, back to what I was saying. I'm going to keep this open now. This will probably stay open all summer, and that will allow a through draft again to try and keep away the wretched blight for as long as we possibly can. And here I am back at the sunflowers. Now, if you remember in the last video, I was getting really worried about the black patches and the speckles on the leaves. And the response I've had has been so good and so encouraging. Apparently, because they are a black flower, that's Rocky whining, by the way, that's not my stomach grumbling. Because they're such a dark flower, the leaves get quite pigmented as well. So there's nothing wrong with them. This is what they're supposed to look like, I hope. I'm putting my trust in you that these are actually supposed to look like this. But yeah, the rest of the leaves and everything, they're looking really healthy. So thank you so much to all of you who commented on my sunflower problem that now isn't a problem. Hooray! Oh, you know what? There are days when it's bucketing down, and yeah, it's really, really frustrating. You just want to get down here. And to be honest, there's other days when you sort of think, oh, I'm going to have to go because I've got to do this, that and the other. And you don't fancy it at all. And if I'm honest, earlier on today, I was feeling a little bit like that. I was feeling a little bit, not dejected at all, but not really, didn't really have the oomph to come down. Honestly, I'm so glad I did. It's been absolutely glorious. I mean, aside from getting drenched when I was about to dig up the garlic, it's not rained since. I mean, how good's that? The sun is coming from over there. And it's not just that it's even been a really nice sunny day. I think, oh, it's going in now. I think sometimes when it has rained that much and the sun comes out, I mean, you've heard of that, the smell that comes from the damp soil, petrichor. And you know, that in itself is such a feel-good factor. But everything looks that much brighter. It looks that much vibrant, which it doesn't now because the cloud's gone over the sun, but it did. So I hope some of that's come across in the filming. If the filming's worked, who knows what's going to happen. But yeah, and the other thing today, all I was going to do was dig up an elephant garlic just because I was fed up waiting. I'm such an impatient character. And I ended up digging up all the garlic, which, if I show you, can you see? I don't think I can pick it all up. Roughly, there goes one. Okay, that's mainly the Red Baron. The elephant garlic, actually, the Red Baron garlic is about the same size. We had some really sizable bulbs there, so look at that. That's about the same size as the elephant garlic, so we quite like this little fella because he's got a little face. Let me show you. Got to be careful what I stand on here. I'm squashing my strawberries. But look, I think, can we see he's got a little nose? Lovely punk hairdo. We think of a name for him? Mr. Garlic so far, but yeah. You know, it's taken me all my time not to put eyes on him, but there we go. We entertain ourselves. So yeah, all that garlic. I don't know how it's going to store. I do need to read back up on it. There will have been a very good reason for me to order it in the first place, but what that reason was now, I really don't know. However, as I showed you, the Valladolid garlic, the white garlic, 2 tiny bulbs, and I think they're mono bulbs, I don't think they've split. So they haven't fared very well at all. Exactly the same soil, same time of planting, but yeah, not happy. So maybe it's just that, you know, is it stating the obvious to say that some garlic prefer different soils to others? I'd certainly be ordering that Red Baron again. Red Baron, Red Duke. It might taste horrendous, so I'm saying it a bit too soon, but I don't think it will. I think it's going to be nice. Anyway, that is going to be roasted. Sorry, Mr. Garlic. We're going to roast Mr. Garlic this weekend with something nice. Oh dear, it'll be gorgeous. Yeah, and the other thing, I mean, as I say, I really didn't expect to be harvesting anything, but we have our truck of new potatoes. We've got some very oversized radishes, which to be honest we probably won't eat. They'll probably just sit in the corner of the kitchen. Have you got a corner like that and you have all good intentions about doing something with them? We probably won't. But also under here we've got our first little turnip haul. And I mean, when I say little turnips, they are little turnips, but I think these, look at the colour. Can you see the colour on those? Oh, come on, son, come and show the colour. They're almost like a neon purple. And what we did with these, again, going back to the Charles Dowding way of doing things, these were the thinnings. So we had clumps of turnips planted out together, and as they've started to get bigger, you pull a smaller one or you pull a bigger one out. It gives the others room to spread, and you just keep going like that. So you're not actually thinning the turnips out one at a time. You're planting them all together and just pulling them as you want them, pulling the big one, and that in itself thins your clump. So we've got them, we've got turnip, we've got garlic, we've got the delicious, oh my goodness, the new potatoes. That's not a new potato, that's a radish. But yeah, absolutely lovely. Oh, and the other thing, Charles Dowding again. I tell you, that man's got something to say. This is some rocket that we grew from seed and planted out as plants in a no-dig bed. Absolutely, oh sorry, it's not that spinach. I just put my glasses back on. This is the rocket that we put out in the no-dig bed. This is a turnip leaf from one of those turnips that was in the dig bed. Now if I come closer again, I really should just bring the camera closer, shouldn't I? What's just strawberries? Can you see the difference? I know one's bigger, etc., but flea beetles have had a field day on these. Not one munch from that, and that hasn't been covered. It's been in open, well, not open ground, a no dig bed, but not covered at all. No sign of flea beetle damage. Now, I don't know the science behind that, but if no dig beds keep the flea beetle at bay, that'll be a treat. Okay, so yeah, we've got them as well. Oh, I better not take that home, Michael, cook it. Okay, so yeah, an unexpected harvest, only expecting to go back with one garlic. I'm going to put the rest of these now through the slats in the bench in the greenhouse behind me and see how they dry off. Yeah, well, how good's that, eh? Again, I feel like it's harvest time already, and that of course has given us a chance to put in the pak choi and the fennel, so already we've got something else growing. Everything else is doing quite well. Promise myself I'm not going to wrap it on. I don't know, what was I thinking? Neem oil. I finally got my neem oil, and I meant to bring it down and show you, and I haven't, but I've got this 1 litre organic bottle of neem oil. Never used it before, but so many people have recommended it, not least the lovely Paul from Richard and Paul. But what I'm a little bit shocked by is on the package it says for skin and hair and nails. Well, I don't want it for any of those things. I want it for my green fly. So what do I do with it? I'm assuming I just dilute it down with water and spray it. But yeah, it hasn't got the instructions I was expecting with it. So let me know your neem oil answers, please. Do you use it? Have you used it? Will you use it? I'm going to have a go. I'm off to Gardener's World live tomorrow at the NEC in Birmingham. So hopefully see a couple of you there. And probably by the time you've watched this, I'll probably have been, I don't know, probably by the time I finish editing, I'll have been and gone. But there we go. So I'm really looking forward to that. There's all sorts of images coming up on social media already. If you're outside the UK, it's basically, if you haven't heard of it, it's basically the UK's #1, arguably, gardening programme that's got a huge following, and every year they have a huge exhibition. I don't know if they have several actually through the country, but they certainly have one in Birmingham, which is like our nearest city, with all the presenters and everything wandering around. So that'll be good fun. I'm hoping if the weather's like this, it's going to be absolutely glorious. So I'm looking forward to that. And what else? Neem oil, tetanus, Gardener's World, Charles Dowding, thumbs up, you know, we keep going. To be honest, it's since Mike went on the day course, he's come back with all sorts of stuff, but what we've tried so far seems to be working. So I think that's the route we're certainly going to be following at this plot in future times. But yeah, the sun's gone in now. I think it is a cue, isn't it? It's like someone up there saying, yeah, shut up now, Jane, or we're going to rain on you again in a minute. But yeah, I'm going to go. I hope you've had, I'm going to say a lovely week, but if you've been in the UK, I know it will have been a very, very soggy week. Not just the UK, and a lot of people have had quite extreme weather, but I hope you're safe, I hope you're well, and I hope to see you all again soon next week. Instagram, Facebook, get yourself along there, have a look, please subscribe. I'll put all the links to all of those things underneath. You see, I remembered this week. And yeah, it'd be lovely to see you along there as well, because yeah, we're quite nice. We're a nice bunch. We're a nice bunch of friendly gardeners. Okay, so now I'm going to go. Okay, hope it hasn't been too long this week. I'll see you soon. Bye.